Hey guys, it's me again. So last tutorial we stopped when all we had was this and that. Now I want you guys to delete all of it. Yep, all of it. And we're gonna restart completely. So you guys, I hope you guys remember how to do this, and I hope you guys practice, because practice is key to learning coding. I'm serious. Without practice, you got nothing. No, I do not want that. Alright, so we're gonna have our doc type. Remember that? Doc type HTML, and we're gonna have HTML. And now, guys, I didn't really explain this that well, so here I'll do it again. I'm gonna click enter like that to all elements that have content in them. For example, so the HTML tag has content. The element has content in it. It has, the whole entire web page in it. So yeah, that's content. And the head tag also has content in it. It has the title, remember that? But the title, it only has one piece of content in it. It doesn't have any other elements in it. Doesn't have any other information except for the title. So I'm not gonna click enter. I'm just gonna give them the title, which is Hey YouTube. Woo. And that's it. All right. So the body, it has content in it. So I'm gonna click enter. Now you don't have to do this. You can also just click enter here. It just That's the way I'm gonna do it. If you're confused why I'm doing that, but you could also do it like this. It only has one piece of information. That's the title. So it's not worth it to click enter. It's just wasting space. Okay, so we're gonna have our first header. Yeah, which is the h1, and we're gonna call it. Let's make a blog. All right, we're gonna make a blog. Let's call it. Let's have a blog about cheese. Best cheeses in town. So now let's change the title because it's about cheese. We're gonna have our title cheese cheese life. That's gonna be our title, cheese life. Best cheeses in town. Now we're gonna have a subtitle, and we're gonna call this one. Let's actually add an apostrophe there because grammar is key. And let's call this blog about cheese. And alright, so now we have our two titles, and now we're gonna have a paragraph, and we're just gonna write some random stuff. So the thing with paragraphs are that you can also add other stuff, such as links, which I'll show you in a moment, and images. You can pretty much add anything else in a paragraph too, just those are the two most common things you'll add in a paragraph. So I'm gonna open it like that. Now we're gonna write, so yesterday I ate cheese, yum. And now we're gonna have a link to a website. So the way you do a link is you do a, and then now I'm going to introduce you to something called attributes. Attributes are more information in the opening tag. So for a link, the second attribute is href. And you said that's green. It's because it's different. It's not a tag. It's an attribute. And attributes have the attribute name, equal mark, two quotes, and in between those quotes we have the data. So in this case, on a link or anchor tag, the data in the href is the link that we're going to direct them to. So we're going to direct them to www.cheese.com. And then we're going to close the link, and yeah. So then we can add what. So right now, if we just have that, let's see what happens. Nothing happens. Why? Because we didn't we didn't have any content. All we have right now is a link, but there's nothing there. So there's no way to click on the link because we don't have any content. We don't have any visible stuff. This href is an attribute. It's not visible to the browser, as you just saw. So we're gonna add best cheese site. Now save that. Reload the page, and we got best cheese site. And when we click on it, it's gonna bring us. It should bring us to cheese.com, except I'm developing locally, which means I'm developing on my computer, and it would clicking on that would direct me to another file, except I don't have a file called www.cheese.com, so it says this web page is not found. If you want to fix that, we can just probably make it, I don't know if this will work, but it should work. We can add the full link. Let's reload. And you see that brings us to cheese.com. But generally, if you have a website, you don't need to add the HTTP. It's just a thing. So yeah, that's the anchor tag. It has the A, which the name of the tag, and an attribute, which the value of the attribute is the link. All right. So, but we don't want the link to be right in displaying in line with "So yesterday I ate cheese." So I'm gonna introduce you to another tag. This is the break rule tag, which is a special tag I talked about in the previous tutorial, and it's just BR, and it stands for break rule. It doesn't. You don't have to close it. You don't have to do /BR because it doesn't have any content. There's no content. All it does is it breaks the line, adds a new line. So let's see. You see how this is displaying in line? When we reload, it's going to be displaying under. So that's the break rule. We don't want to add another paragraph just for the link, so we're just going to have the break rule right there. And we can add 2 so that it looks like that. But let's just keep it at 1. And you'll see in other tutorials people doing it like that. And that is also perfectly acceptable, and they call it a self-closing tag. But this is HTML5. This is modern. We don't need to do that. So we're just going to have it like that. It's easier. It looks nicer. It looks cleaner. I like it. So, yeah. But now we're going to want to add an image. All right? You guys like images, right? So let's go to Google. Let's search cheese, because we love cheese, don't we? Go to images. This is what I like. And we're gonna save it. Save image as. We're gonna call it cheese. Yeah, I really like space, so that's space right there. And we're gonna save it in desktop. We're gonna save it in our web folder. Except we're gonna add another folder. Inside of our web folder, we're gonna add another folder. We're gonna call this folder img, or it's just short for images. You can call it whatever the hell you want. I'm just gonna call it img. So we're gonna save it inside there. Great. So now we have cheese here. So now if we want to add an image of our cheese, let's add another paragraph. And inside this paragraph, we're gonna have another title. Not an H1 title, let's have an H4 title. And we'll say my favorite cheeses. Alright. I don't actually know if you need the apostrophe. It doesn't look like you need I don't think you need an apostrophe. And I'm gonna introduce you to another tag that uses an attribute. This is gonna be the img tag, which is to display images. So that's img, and then it has the attribute, which is gonna be called src, which stands for source. And the source of this is where we saved it. So that would be img / and then cheese.jpg. So that's the attribute, and that's the attribute data. And image is also one of those special tags like BR. It doesn't have any content except for the image, so you don't need to do slash image like that, because there's no content in it. All it has is the image, and you don't have to put the source of the image like we did. Or sorry, no, you need the source. Without this attribute, nothing happens. Here, I'll show you. Alright, so let's see. Oh my god, look at that. It's a huge picture. Huge picture. Except, let's face it, we don't want this giant picture. This is too giant. As you can see, you didn't see a different picture because that we didn't have the source tag. It didn't work. So yeah, image needs the source. But now we're gonna add 2 more attributes because we don't want it that big. The second attribute we're gonna add is height. And remember, that's how you add attributes. And we're gonna make it, and this is how many pixels you want the picture to be high. We're gonna make it 80 pixels high. And then the width, sorry, it's a force of habit, is, let's make this 100. So we got a nice landscape picture. And let's look at it. Alright, that it's a bit small. It's a bit small. We can scale it up a bit. Let's make it 300 and 180. Yeah, that's good. I like that. So we have our picture. But say you want, now we're gonna get into a bit more complicated stuff. Say you want a link in a picture. Right? A link in a picture. Remember, you can have content in A. So we're gonna go like this. We're gonna have a.href. I'm gonna call it http. Or actually, you know what? Let's change this. We're gonna have it img/cheese.jpg. And inside the link, we're gonna copy this. I'm gonna paste it. Ooh, that doesn't look good. Let's just make it look clean and organized. Now, the image is gonna be inside the link, and the link is gonna go to this file, to this cheese file. Alright? So that's just something you can do. Let's reload. And now when we hover over it, you can see right here in the corner, it has the file. So when we click on it, it'll bring us just to a page that has nothing on it except for the image. That's magic, guys. Come on, it's magic. Ooh, sorry about that. Okay. So you can see our cheese site is coming along. We're gonna work more on this in the future tutorials. We're gonna make a full-fledged blog. And so far, it looks like crap. Come on, guys. It looks terrible. Next tutorial, I think we're going to start doing some styling with CSS to make it look presentable. Because right now, come on, it's terrible. But we're going to work on it. We're going to make this a good site. We're going to work on it. It's going to be great. And guys, please watch the second tutorial. If you have, the third tutorial. This is part 2, right? If you have any questions, please comment in the description. Like, subscribe for more amazing videos. And thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. Goodbye.